Today, we're gonna start with a quiz. All three questions are about fox spirit from East Asia, and the choices are all the same. Number 1, Japan. Number 2, Korea. Number 3, China. First question. There is a country where a fox must have 9 tails. Not 3, not 5, just 4 options, 9 tails fixed. Which country is that? Lock your answer in your head for a second. Second question. In one country, foxes are treated as messenger of a god. You go to shrines or temples and you see white fox statue standing guard. People give them food, alcohol, so their business and family go well. Which country is this? Got it. Keep in your head. Last question. People used to say a fox possessed them when someone acted strange. They even had an actual term, fox possession, like it is a diagnosis. Which country did that? Alright, keep your answer, don't change them. Now let's check. First question, the fox that must have 9 tails. Correct answer is number 2, Korea, the gumiho. In China, the tails kind of level up one by one, but in Korea, the fox is basically born with the 4 option. Second question, fox is messenger of a god. That is number 1, Japan. Those white fox statue in front of Inari shrine, that's them, Inari Jinja. And the third question, fox possession as a kind of diagnosis, that's also number 1, Japan. Japan actually had this thing called kitsune-tsuki, literally fox possession. If you got all 3 right, you are already in the top 1%. Konnichiwa, Yoshi desu. If at least one of those questions made you hesitate for a second, today's video is gonna help a lot. Cause here's the thing, same fox face, totally different character depending on the country. If you open the passport of the 9-tailed fox, its birthplace is ancient China. Its first immigration stamp is Japan, and the second one is Korea. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how the fox moved from China to Japan to Korea. So China first. Long story short, China is where the 9 tails and the river fox system were born. There's this old weird book called Shanghai Jing, kind of a mythic monster map. In the book, a 9-tailed fox shows up really early, creepy, childlike cry. Sometimes it eats people, but some commentators say it's actually a sign of a peaceful golden age. Later, during the Han 2006 BC to 220 CE and Tang 618 to 907 CE, China basically invents the fox romance genre. In short, ghost stories and tales, foxes turn into beautiful women, fall in love with human men, sometimes saving them, sometimes ruining their lives. From there you get the word Hurijing, which means a fox temptress. Even today, in Chinese, calling someone Hurijing is like calling her a dangerous fox girl. On the other hand, there's also the idea of HEIAN, a fox that lives long, cultivates, and becomes a kind of minor god. So villagers would pray to fox spirits for luck, money, or protection. If we sum it up, Chinese fox is like an RPG character with skill trees. The older it gets, the more tails, the higher the level. 9 tails is basically max level. It can be a wise, immortal, or seductive homewrecker. If you turn that into a person, the Chinese fox is like an old master in a mountain temple. He can save you, but if things go wrong, he can also break everything From here, the folk story is split into two big branches, Japan and Korea, and each country makes their own version. Let's go to Japan next. Normally, when people think about cultural flow in East Asia, they imagine China, Korea, Japan. But for fox spirit, it's a bit different. For the nine-tailed fox lion, it's more like a China to Japan, and also China to Korea, not a straight line. In early Heian period Japan, 800 to 820s, Japanese monks go study in Tang, China, and bring back stories. They don't just import Buddhism, they also import Chinese fox tales. There is an old Japanese book called Nihon Ryoiki, compiled around 787 to 824, right in that early Heian window. It has a fox wife story that's almost a copy of a Chinese tale. A man marries a beautiful woman, live happily, then find out she was a fox in disguise. Sometimes she still sneaks back at night to sleep by his side. From this kind of story, you even get a folk etymology for kitsune. Not academically correct, but it just shows how people felt. Fox equal the one who comes at night. Then there is the Inari faith. As Japan develops farming and trade, especially from medieval into other period, 600s to 1800s, Inari became a god of rice, harvest, and business, and the white fox became Inari's main messenger. That's why you see white fox statue at Inari shrine all over Japan. People pray to them for protection, god sayers, and good luck. So in Japan, foxes became half shrine guardian, half trickster. And then comes the creepy parts, Kitsunezuki, fox position. The belief show up already in Heian stories, but from around the 17th century at a period, it explodes as a weird diagnosis for mental illness. If someone starts acting strange, talking weird, eating weird, people would say a fox is possessing them. They really believe a fox spirit could jump into a person's body. Families would call a priest or shaman to drive the fox out. This whole fox possession thing is very Japanese, not really China or Korean. On the top of that, Japan also imports the Chinese nine-tailed fox seductress, Daji. They remix it into Tamamo no Mae, a beautiful woman who almost digested the Japanese cult. That's where the Japanese Kyubi no Kitsune, the nine-tailed fox, contends back to China. So Japan takes three rules: shrine guardian, mental illness explanation, and nation-destroying seductress, and puts them all on the fox. If this part already feels interesting, you can hit like real quick, and we will move on to Korea. Korea takes a very different route with the foxes. Not a shrine messenger, not a mountain immortal, but a beautiful, dangerous, tragic figure. Early Korean records from the Three Kingdoms and Unified Silla, so roughly 3rd to 9th century CE, but they don't clearly say nine tails yet. It's just strange white foxes, omens, shapeshifters. The word Gumiho, nine-tailed fox, shows up in Goryeo literature 918 to 1392. A poem name, Gyubo 1168 to 1241. Use it as a symbol of one ancient, ever deceptive being. Then, in the Joseon dynasty 1392 to 1910, Korea becomes a hardcore Confucian state on the surface. Officially, they say don't believe in ghosts and monsters, but in the record, people still call other like a gumiho as an insult. around 1600s, Korea is also reading the same Chinese novels, The Fox Seductress, about Daji. That image of a beautiful woman who ruined a king and a country blends with the Korean folk stories. So the Korean GORYEO looks into very specific templates. Number 1, it's almost always a female fox. Number 2, it has exactly 9 tails, not more, not less. Number 3, it eats liver, heart, or life energy from humans. And number 4, it often wants to become human but struggles between that wish and its violent nature. Some stories say if it eats 100 rivers, it can become a human. Others shows a GORYEO falling in love and sacrificing itself. It's always about desire, love, and the border between monster and human. So today, China gives us the leveling fox, Japan gives us the shrine fox and the possessed fox, and Korea gives us tragic nine-tailed lover. Now, in the 21st century, everything gets mixed up again. Anime, games, drama, webtoons. All the foxes start blending into one big fox spirit package. In Japan, you have Naruto, Nine Tails. In Korea, you have tons of GORYEO drama and webtoons. In games, you have things like AHRI from League of Legends. Riot even said officially that AHRI is based on Korean GORYEO. That's why she has 9 tails, a human form, and seduction plus life-drawing powers. But visually, you can feel it a bit of Japanese kitsune style too, with the ears, flames, and magic circles. The problem is when this all becomes tattoo reference, it's chaos. Clients bring 20 fox images from Pinterest and Instagram. Honestly, most of those Japanese fox tattoo such results would make actual Chinese, Japanese, and Korean people go, oh, what is this mix? Like, the background is a Japanese shrine, the tails follow the Chinese leveling system, the face has a Korean GORYEO drama vibe, and the outfit looks like AHRI's skin from League of Legends, or mixed into one fox tattoo. Pinterest is basically full of these Franken foxes. If you are still here watching and your brain is clicking like, wow, I had no idea it was this different, you might wanna hit subscribe and keep following this series. Now let's switch to the tattoo meanings. When someone wants a fox tattoo, a real question I ask is very simple. Which word do you wanna invite onto your skin? A Chinese fox tattoo say, I believe in leveling up over time. If I keep going, I will eventually reach different level. A Japanese fox tattoo says, I know there are things I can't see, still respect them. A GORYEO tattoo says, I know I have dangerous desire and I'm not pretending I don't. I've been burned before, but I'm still honest about what I fear. Sometimes it also means I crossed the line once and I survived. That's part of my life story now. 3 countries, same animal, totally different meanings. China's fox, reveling, cultivation, Tao. Japan's fox, messenger, invisible world, protection. Korea's fox, desire, love, a boundary, tragedy. If you don't know this and just pick a cool fox picture, you just get a 9 foxes tattoo. Now you can do the same. If you want to hear more real story behind Japanese tattoos, you can subscribe, leave a like, and drop in the comment which creature you want to see next. I'll see you in the next one. お疲れ様でした。